What's poppin', beautiful people? Welcome into our Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13, Episode 23 review. The episode was titled Grand Gesture or Grand Gesture. I am here a little bit earlier than expected because I have a lot to do as it relates to school and other things. So shout out to anybody who's watching on our replay gang. I also want to remind everybody to please tap in with the link in the description of this video. There are links in the description of this video to other great creators as well as Watch Your Mouth Reviews, who generally covers this show with us. But he's MIA for most of my shows this week because he's having to work overtime at work. But let's get into the episode. If you haven't already, like, share, and subscribe. Also, welcome to all of our new subscribers. We are at 790. I'm just 10 away from 800 and just 210 away from 1,000. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in and supporting the channel. It really does mean the world. I'm just a little person, so I appreciate y'all so much. But let's get into this episode. This episode was the Hot Mess Express, if I'm being entirely honest. I just felt like they did not give a lot, and I'm a little tired of this Jessica White storyline. I'm also over Yandy and Mendeece's storyline, and I know that sounds kind of mean, and you know, people might be like, well, why are you so impatient, Mrs. Best? I'm tired of people's storylines. I really am. But we start with Jessica White, Bambi, and Nathan. They are out in Sausalito here in the Bay Area. This is where Jessica's new man, I'm not sure if they're married yet, but it's where her new man is from. They've been out there meeting with family, but the last we saw Nathan and Jessica, they got into it because Jessica wanted to act like she was pregnant alone versus pregnant in a relationship, and she was making decisions for where the baby's going to be. I understand that women carry the pregnancy. I understand that it is a lot for anybody to hold a pregnancy, even to be pregnant for a second, whether you make it to the 9th month or whether you just make it to the 2nd month. It is a lot of work, but it takes 2 to get pregnant. That means it takes 2 to make decisions. Yes, naturally, kids are more attached to the mother, but that doesn't mean that she should solely dictate where the baby is. And I think a lot of women that think that way, that's why they be alone. No shade. But I did agree with Bambi. It's really very simple with Jessica and Nathan. Jessica needs to calm the hell down and act like she's in a relationship, and Nathan needs to learn how to communicate what he wants for her and then allow her to do her. Just because you her man and the father of her child and soon to be fiance doesn't mean you get to just call the decisions for her and what she gets to do. But let me know if you guys feel differently about Jessica and Nathan. I'm not that invested in this storyline. I don't care, because to me, I have been saying this about Jessica White. When I look at Jessica White, I think of, yes, the supermodel, but I think of the fact that this broad was ditzy enough to think that she was going to be anything important to Nick Cannon. And then she went from that into this weird I hate men era just to end up with a man. I'm happy she's getting her pregnancy and stuff, but I don't really care about the storyline. I feel like she's rushing things with this man. And like, Jessica's much older than she looks, and I am not throwing shade at all. I'm saying that to say, like, based on age, if she explains that a little more, I can accept this storyline, but I don't know. I just feel like they're throwing her story on us. But we gonna keep it moving, y'all. Welcome to those who just joined. We're gonna move into Jock's grandson is having a birthday party. I can never remember the name of Jock's oldest son. But I'm happy to see them in a better place, because I remember seasons ago when they was physically fighting each other, which I can never understand. But Jock's son is a father. The baby was cute. Baby got a big ass head, but the baby was cute. And at the party, we see a couple of the castmates, but I was just thinking, because we saw Kendra being sweet. And one of my favorite things about Kendra is, even though she be tripping, she does accept his kids and like make the effort with his family, which I love. Like, I know Jock likes to say family's important to him, but let's keep it real. If family was that important to him, he wouldn't have so many baby mamas. It's just a fact. But I like how Kendra is with the kids, but I was just thinking to myself, like, damn, Kendra, you a grandmama before you somebody's mama. I could see why Jock now is like, he don't want to have no other kids because his kid with Kendra would be the same age as his grandchild. And that's got to be a little weird. But also, that's what happens when you sleep with people recklessly until your 50s. You end up with situations like Jock's. But at the party, we see Mendices speak with Ashley and Zane about his situation with Yandy. It seems like Mendices is now in a place where he misses his family. I don't even think he misses his family. I think he misses what he had with Yandy, which was the support of a relationship while not actually being in one. Someone to come home to, someone who's helping you take care of your kids. Because Yandy only got 2 of them. We have to remember that. So I feel like he likes the convenience and what comes with Yandy. And that's why he's suddenly missing her. I also find it very convenient that once a woman accepts that it's done and moves on, why is it that these Negroes suddenly decide, oh, she's done, she's healing, now I got to swoop in and stop that process? Like, men, please let us know. Because it seems like Yandy's struggling, but it also seems like she's figuring it out. And now that she's figuring it out, he's backtracking, which irked me. But Ashley and her big mouth, she basically feels like Yandy decided to cheat as a way of revenge because Mendices kept cheating. And her dumbass said that aloud. And of course, Zane is like, how you just gonna put cheating on this man? Shut up, Zane. You don't even come home before the sun is up. Please do not comment. Your comments and your words are not respected. And clearly, as you like to remind us of, your wife don't respect you either. So please be quiet, Zane. But Mendices says pretty much he never cheated on Yandy. This is the first time he has said that verbatim, though. I wish he would have said some shit like this when he was still in a relationship with Yandy, not when it's done. And his reason for saying he didn't cheat is not believable. This Negro says that he didn't cheat because there's no proof. Why do I tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like Mendices is the type of guy where even if there is proof that he has cheated, he's going to deny it. Didn't she just say there was a voice note of him trying to talk to other people? Like, stop, Mendices. Ugh. What's poppin', Jewel? Happy hump day to you. Jewel says, Miss Best Reviews, good evening. Jessica is not too bright. Tell the truth and shame the devil, Jewel. She thought she was some high priestess doula last season. You know what? I had kind of forgot about that until she showed her like releasing her pain a couple episodes ago with the doula. And no disrespect, I don't have kids, but I would not want a doula that's never had kids. I know that sounds like, okay, we're women, you can still do the job. A doula is a doula, not an OBGYN. I would want one that knows what I'm going through because, yeah. And then she says, Mendices is thirsty and lonely. A friend. Don't you ever take my youth, which he took from Yandy. Mendices took Yandy's 20s and her 30s, had her knocked up, almost got her ass whooped a couple times on the show, almost got her in situations where people did not like her on the show no more. Like, Mendices has done too much and they had too much of a history, not to mention she held that Negro down for 8 years. And you want to come back talking about you want to be a friend and you want to put an effort in once we're already done? Boy, bye. I can't stand men that do that. It just shows that they're aware of how they are. They're aware of how to change it so that they can be better for their spouse, but they choose not to. Worst type of ninjas. Worst type of ninjas. I swear, the absolute worst. I want to take a moment to acknowledge our replay gang and shout out to anybody who is here now watching. I do appreciate you guys. I normally recap this show with James or with somebody else. So I appreciate everybody for hanging in there and still supporting the channel. Ugh. But Mendices, go to hell. Go straight to hell. And I don't get the hype with Mendices being handsome. I'm not saying he's not handsome, but I just kind of feel like he's not all of that to be going through this with. But Mendices, before we leave the scene of the party, he talks to young Jock and pretty much he can't let go of Yandy, and he gets the idea from Jock that he needs to do a grand gesture for Yandy so that their relationship can make it and recover and all of this. A grand gesture is not going to make up for years of miscommunication, years of secret cheating, years of all types of foolery. It's not going to make up for that. I have a smoothie, y'all. Don't judge me. I'm hungry. And yes, the smoothie will hold me over until I can take this food out of the oven. Now, we get to the bullshit of the episode. Now, I'm going to let y'all know, I love Rennie Rucci. I enjoy Rennie Rucci. I think she's adorable. I appreciate how she just be wearing a natural hair when she feel like it, her natural body. I appreciate how open she was after the passing of her mother. I enjoy Rennie Rucci. I also think she's talented as an artist. However, girl, if you don't get your black ass off of these people's television, getting together a stack of money for a nigga that put you out of the house when you was postpartum. No, absolutely not. You hold down your husband. That's what women don't understand. Baby daddies and baby mamas is not a badge of honor. Anybody can have a kid. You hold down the person that you have chosen to be tied to for the rest of your life. The person that you are willing to take the vow with. At least hold down the person who has proposed to you. Rennie's not even engaged to this boy. He's just the boy that put her out the house in the middle of winter while she was postpartum because he was insecure about a song lyric. If this is that same guy, which I know for a fact it is, from what she has explained, please, Rennie, go somewhere with this. But he went to jail. He's got racketeering charges, RICO charges, drug charges, murder for hire charges. He's just a little bit of Tiger King mixed in with Power Book. Like, it's a whole lot. It doesn't look like he's going to get out. Most of these charges are federal. As we have talked about, when you get federal charges, the government 9 times out of 10 knows you did it and just needs to put you in a courthouse to prove it. They also, like, on the East Coast have like a 98% conviction rate. So I hope she has a lot more stacks of dollars to save Black Zach, aka her baby daddy. But she says she gonna stick beside him. She gonna stick beside him. I don't know when women became so stupid, but listen, I get loving him. I get that. I totally get that. If my husband was to go down for the same thing, I would stick beside him. The difference between my husband and Rennie and her dude is I've been with mine for almost 2 decades. She's been with this man for like 2 years. So I just feel like it's too much too soon. Also, I have a couple people I love in my life who have gone to jail. And when you have charges as serious as that, sometimes it's good to just let him sit in time while everything is figured out in the jail. Save your money, wait for the court case, still pay for a lawyer, and let him get some time served. Then if he does have to do long time, he's getting some of that cut off. But, you know, I get it. It's initial instinct probably to support the baby daddy. So I get it, Rennie. I just feel like if he didn't put her out of that house, I might feel just a smidge differently. But I ain't holding down no nigga to put me out the house. Absolutely not. We would have to move to a new house that only I have the key to. You not putting me out of nowhere. But that's just me. That's just me. But I feel like these younger girls and the girls who aren't so younger, who are just trying to keep up with the younger generations, like, just use your brain a little bit. Use your brain. Think with your mind and not your coochie. That's all. Jules says, preach. And Carly shows up too for support. Misery does love company. Misery does love company. I'm going to get to Carly's support too, because I felt like that was some fake shit. I'm not going to lie. I know I'm skipping ahead, but I felt like Carly showing up for Rennie Rucci was fake. I'm going to explain why later, but it just came across as disingenuous to me. Let me know if y'all feel differently, but that's how it came across to me. But we get this little nothing scene with Ashley. She makes my teeth itch in ways that I did not know were possible. Ashley's voice just really annoys me. It's also her way of thinking. And she confirmed that. She's like, I'm just messy, but it's all playful. You can't just be messy and forward with people you don't know. It's not playful, Ashley. It means you're not likable. Like, please. But nothing happened in the scene. Apparently, Queen Key is bisexual. She likes boys and girls. She don't know who she want to be with. It seemed like there's some energy between Queen Key and Erica Banks. She invites Erica Banks with her to Chicago, where she's from, for a G Herbo party. By the by, I do not understand the hype of G Herbo. I see a guy who chooses the best beats who couldn't rap to save his life. But maybe I'm getting to that age where I just don't understand certain styles of rap. But yeah, that's me. I like his features, though. Some of them. Very little. But let me know if you guys have anything that you felt was interesting in that Queen Key, Erica, and Ashley scene. I do like that the newbies are like meeting up together, filming scenes together, but I also kind of feel like it's too little too late that they are doing this. I feel like they should have ended Love and Hip Hop Atlanta specifically after COVID, when we had light skinned Keisha on the season. I feel like they should have ended it that season, but they kept it going. So whatever. We know this is the last season, so we'll deal with what we got. Now, we then see Yandy meet with Kendra. And for whatever reason, Yandy decides to discuss the end of her marriage with a woman who settled for a nigga with 5 different baby mamas and a tribe of children. Kendra can give you legal advice. Kendra can give you real estate advice. Do not go to Kendra for advice on marriage or relationships, because Kendra herself should have left hers. Jock may have got it together now, but I don't want him if I got to go through all of that just for him to get together. He had to make a whole nother baby for him to treat me right. Like, no. But they discuss Mendeecees trying to get the family back together. Hey, Shayna. Good afternoon. Good evening for you. Actually, you on the East Coast. Welcome in. Shayna, do you cover Love and Hip Hop? I feel like sometimes I see you talk about it, Shayna, and then sometimes I do not see you talk about Love and Hip Hop. So I feel like Shayna pops in and comments when she feels like it. But she does have a channel. She covers a lot of shows. And I believe the link to her channel should be in the description of this video. If I did it right. I was in a rush, but it should be in the description of the video. But Kendra tells Yandy that she feels like a grand gesture is just the thing that Yandy and Mendeecees needs for them to get back together. Because Kendra says that when Jock did a grand gesture, that's the perfect thing that helped them. I said, how did that help y'all? Because when they showed the clip with the grand gesture with Jock, I'm like, y'all argued and almost broke up a cajillion times after that. And just before this season aired, Jock was on the internet talking about he was done with you and sick of you because you wouldn't let the past go. So what did this grand gesture fix? Don't get me wrong, y'all. I love a gift. Like, if my husband was to be making mistakes and was like, here's a car, here's a diamond, here's this, thank you, but we still got a problem. Like, a grand gesture does not erase absolutely anything. It just does not, and it will not. But Yandy says that she's kind of annoyed with Mendeecees because he's trying to be there for her, popping up in her bed, trying to snuggle her and still sleep with her and things like that. And she feels like he's doing this because she's moving on. Again, I don't know why men do this. Right when the women start to move on from your asses, now y'all want to do these grand gestures to keep them back. Because I really feel like Mendeecees thought in his head, I got kids with her, so I could play with her like a yo-yo and throw her out and string her back in. But absolutely not, sir. You're not that much of a prize when everything you fucking got is from her. Because before her, you had to break the law just to get anything that you wanted. So I feel like they both lied on TV, but I'm also looking at Mendeecees like, are men this trashy? Is it that bad out there? Ugh. Don't listen to Kendra, Yandy. Shayna said, I'm dependent on your reviews to keep up with this show. I don't watch it no more. This is the last season. And girl, I'm celebrating because I think Shayna knows, James knows, Kiwan knows. A lot of the creators I connect with know. This show irritates me when I'm watching it. I'm just like, huh? I scratch my braids and I'm supposed to pat. I be stressed out. Same shit, different season, literally. Jules said, I can't wait to hear your views on Jock and his huge community of baby mamas and kids. They were a whole cast at the family dinner and grandson's. Let me tell you, I think it's strange that Jock has the baby mamas and kids in the same rooms, but I understand it because when there's so many, it's probably hard for him to just get them all in accord because of different schedules and things. But the other baby mama that we just met, what was her name? I cannot remember her name. But the one that had the last baby that he had right before he married Kendra, I don't like her. I feel like more did happen with her and Jock. I feel like she's a side piece or something and wants to be acknowledged as more. I don't know why, but she gives me that Jewel. I don't like her. But, and also Jock's other baby mama, Cena, she just seems so happy to be there. She seems so happy to be on the camera. She just does. But we're going to move into Bambi and Jessica. They're talking about Jessica's relationship with Nathan. Okay, so his family has a compound. They live in a gated community over in Marin County. For those who do not know, Jessica's family's in the Bay Area. Yes, I'm from the Bay Area. These areas and compounds, if you live on the part of the county that Jessica's man is in, that's where all the millionaires and billionaires are out here. A lot of people do own property. I mean, it be fully gated and things like that. So I am sure the family lives on a compound, but they don't see each other like that. But I didn't care about this scene or this storyline too much, if I'm being entirely honest with y'all. Again, Jessica White is boring me. Just gonna be a Californian and take a sip of my smoothie. Maybe you guys like Jessica White more than me, but I just don't feel like she's brought anything on this show. She either seems confused, messy, or drunk, and there's never an in between. And I don't like that. But I also kind of feel like her friendship with Bambi, I don't feel like it's as deep as it is. I feel like Bambi's just the one person on the cast that Jessica was comfortable with bringing to California to be around her fiance and the family, because I don't think Jessica trusts the rest of this cast around her actual life. Because I'm like, Jessica, we see so much of Nathan. His family came on TV. When are we going to see your family meeting his family? Like, that would be worth showing. Or one of your actual friends that's not on the show meeting him or one of his friends. That gives storyline. But Bambi coming to give you and your man advice when you're already pregnant, that I don't care to watch that. I'm sorry, y'all. I just don't care. I don't care. But if y'all care, let me know. Keep the conversation going in the comments. Well, I can't get into Jessica's storyline this season. Now let's get to the interesting part that Miss Jewel brought up earlier, which was Carly Rae going to South Carolina, because as people know, Rennie Rucci, that's, I believe, where her family and kids and all of that is at. And I believe potentially where she's from, but they're in South Carolina. Carly Rae went to support Rennie. Hold on, before I move into this, I want to catch Jewel's comment. Jewel said, "Who is Bambi to give relationship advice?" Jewel, can you say it louder for the people in the back? Just scream at your computer screen or scream at your phone or your TV, wherever you're watching. I don't want relationship advice for nobody divorced, nobody in limbo, nobody in a situationship, nobody like, I don't want relationship advice from that. I also don't want relationship advice from somebody that's like, you know, them couples that break up all the time. She says she discreetly appears wherever Scrappy is. Mm-hmm. You can have a co-parenting relationship with Scrappy without being around him. You could be on this show with Scrappy without being around him all the time. But it seems like Bambi finds a way to be around him constantly. And I also find it interesting that she hasn't been talking about or saying to anybody how Scrappy's been asking for his family back, like she told his girlfriend that he was doing. She just ain't said nothing to nobody about that. If a man did me the way she claimed she was done by him, I would have sang like a canary and told everybody. So Bambi is cool. I like how she moves as it relates to friends, but I still side-eye Bambi when it comes to like girl code, relationships, stuff like that. I'll always side-eye Bambi and Malaysia, her bestie. But Carly Rae's in South Carolina, and child Rennie Rucci is a struggling. She says that she doesn't know anything. Because, Carly came on the screen and, Carly don't care. She is not. This is why I felt like she was disingenuous. A real friend would have come out there, known the situation that was going on with their friend, and maybe not talked about it. If they did, they could have been like, if you want to talk about it, let me know, but I'm just here to make you feel well. A real friend would have came, like, we could have watched some movies, went out, like, stayed in. A real friend would have done something to distract you. Carly Red got there and was immediately asking questions. What do you know? Is he getting out? Does he have bail? Can you get this? It's like, Carly, the woman just told you she's sad. She ain't even left her state to go back to Georgia. You asking all these questions. If you're going to be there, be there, but don't do this. This is why people say that Carly can come off as fake. But I also think that Carly was trying to be sweet and kind to Rennie. But Rennie Rucci tells Carly she only knows what the audience knows. Like, she doesn't know much. He's still in jail. She has not been able to speak with him at all. And Rennie Rucci kind of expresses some stress and the need for a social media break to protect her mental health, because obviously, whether we agree with it or not, her baby daddy got locked up. Now she's parenting alone. And in addition to that, she clearly loved this man. And so naturally, she's going to be a little bit sad. And it must suck to be in a situation like that, because I'm sure we all in our personal lives know somebody who has gone through similar situations. But Rennie, you got to go on social media, you say, and see people commenting. But I think the best way to address those comments is to address them. People are making comments online. She says that she continues dating men who go to jail. Honestly, she does have a pattern of dating niggas who go to jail. And it's not really hard to avoid dating niggas who go to jail. There are background checks you can do. You can look into stuff. You can call your spouse throughout the day and ask them what they're doing and make sure that they are where they say they are. Like, I feel like Rennie is aware that she's dating these dudes that be with the shit in the street and hoping that they don't get caught. But now he's caught. Because I'm like, who the fuck is a Black Zach? And he has money to keep up with you and all of this. I never heard his music. So it looked like he's in trouble. He ain't coming back. But she's going to avoid social media because she says she's going to stick beside him and people are not on her side. There's also comments from people saying they hope it ain't the man that put her out. Like, and Rennie kind of makes a comment that she doesn't want to grieve another person. And she has said this a couple, I believe in the last episode and the one before that. She's dealt with a lot of death as it relates to her mother, friends, and people in her life. And she doesn't want to grieve another person. And when someone goes to jail and is away from you, I can understand why she views that as grief. I totally understand why she would view it as grief. But that is an unhealthy way of handling your grief, and why she needs to get her Black ass to somebody's counseling office. Because you can support your man and be with him if you want to, but you can also be realistic and say you don't know what you want to do until you know the outcome of his case. Like, he's facing charges where individually the charge of racketeering alone and the charge of murder for hire alone, that man gonna be gone for a minute. So either way, you're gonna have to grieve this man. Just go talk to somebody, Rennie, an actual person, not Carly Red. But later on, Carly Red gets to meet Rennie's brother. Your brother was kind of cute, Rennie. But they said, not much came from that. I wish Rennie Rucci the best, but Love and Hip Hop is now going away as a show. I'm curious what she does outside of this show as a main source of income, considering the fact that this show is ending and she is not the biggest artist. She's no Mona Leo. She's no Cardi B. She's no Megan Thee Stallion. She's Rennie Rucci. She's talented and she's known, but not to that extent. So I'm curious what she'll do after Love and Hip Hop with all that's happened. And I really do like Rennie Rucci. She seems sweet as sugar, and I hope that she figures it out. I do. But girl, don't stick beside him. And now if he's paying for your life while you locked up, I understand sticking beside him. But if he ain't paid for nothing, then you doing all this for a man that didn't even view you as valuable enough to propose. Just saying. Just saying, Rennie. Something to think about, girl. Something to think about. Shout out to our replay gang, the people who are watching when we are no longer live. Y'all matter, and I'm always shout y'all out. Thug life. You are appreciated. Also, today is the 3-year anniversary, apparently, of my YouTube channel. That's what they told me when I went onto my YouTube studio. So thank you to everybody for supporting my channel who has stopped by, watching now, subscribes, all of that. It really does help keep me going. I'm just 200 people away from fully monetizing on YouTube. I have the watch time hour. So I really appreciate everybody. 3 years on YouTube feels like 17 years, but I enjoy it and have made a lot of friends and look forward to engaging with y'all in the chat. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And if I ever get big enough, I'm going to feed all of y'all. I'm going to find a way. Well, we're going to get into Jessica's proposal. So Nathan took Jessica to Baker Beach, aka the beach that overlooks has the Golden Gate Bridge in the background. Fun fact about Baker Beach: in the 90s, it was a nude beach. And earlier from the 90s, it used to be a nude beach. So those who are upset with Jessica's outfit, which I was kind of like, the hell is she wearing? Homegirl had on a dress, but the dress, like, it looked like it had like ties, almost like a corset, but only on the side of the dress. And it was just like material. So on the side of her, all I saw was like titties. She had on no drawers. I don't know. As a Bay Area resident, I would not recommend anybody go to a Northern California beach without no drawers on. There are all types of things in the sand up there. Baker Beach also used to be a nude beach, so there are other things that may be in the sand. So I was looking at Jessica like, and I thought it was funny because I remember when the proposal was posted. For those who don't know, California, Northern California is not like Southern California. If you come to the beach in the Bay Area, you either got to be a professional swimmer or surfer, and you also need wetsuits, even in the summertime, because the water, there's some scientific thing, Google it. The water is colder up here than it is in LA. So I'm looking at her, I'm like, you at the beach in 50-degree weather with no drawers, no bra, no nothing. But he proposes. I thought it was a beautiful proposal. I just love love, so I get excited for stupid shit like proposals. But congrats to Jessica and Nathan. It makes sense for this man to propose to her, considering she is carrying his big-headed baby. That is the fact. Thank you to you, Also Best. He says, congrats, Beiji, on your 30-year anniversary on YouTube. Woo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I wouldn't have known if YouTube didn't tell me. Thank you, Shayna. I appreciate you as well. I appreciate you. Shayna, I meant to ask you, have you heard anything about Never Ever Mets? Is it coming back? I'm like, is it ever coming back? I'm just curious because I'm tempted to pick up some other own shows, but we'll see. We will see because my schedule is crazy. Jules said that's the question for all that cast. What's next? But thanks for another great live and congratulations. Oh, thank you on the YouTube channel. Thank you. You guys are sweet. She said, I heard it's not coming back, but I hope it does. Really? Huh. I kind of hope it comes back. I like the concept. There's a show on Netflix I've been watching called Age of Attraction. And it's basically kind of like Married at First Sight or Love Island, except the couples are not allowed to know each other's ages. So I was considering doing a quick little video on that. I thought that was crazy because one of the couples on there, the girl was 27 and she learned that man was 60. I said, oh my God, it's quite an age difference, but y'all know I'm random. I appreciate that. Let's like the video, y'all. I appreciate the support. Y'all been liking the video, subscribing. People been commenting. I appreciate it. I still be like, wow, people care. I love it. I love it. I love it. But Jessica's engaged. Stay with that man. If he can afford a compound property for his family to live in the San Francisco Bay Area, okay, we are the most expensive place to live in this country outside of New York and Hawaii. Okay, that man got money. Stay with him, Jessica. Mendices takes Yandy to a goddamn cornfield. And this pissed me off. It made my teeth itch in ways that I did not expect. When Mendices was talking about coming up with a grand gesture to win his wife back or to rebuild their friendship, whatever the fuck it is he claims he's doing at this point, I thought he'll do something romantic, take her to dinner, like But honestly, the most romantic thing Mendices has done for Yandy is probably bend her over for back shots and get down on that knee and propose. He just does not seem like the type of guy that leans into romance. And it showed because he took her to a corn maze and they went on this walk and he put these notes up to, talk about their future and the importance of friendship. And he tells Yandy that their story does not need to end in silence, but can begin again in friendship. And Yandy was confused, as we all were, because she's like, huh? First of all, you make me think you do it a grand gesture, and then you say that you want to be friends. That don't make no sense. She said, how you want to be friends with me when you was in my bed this morning trying to sleep with me? And Mendices is like, nope, that did not happen. She's in the same house. Okay? You tried it. You tried it. I'd have been in a bad space with my spouse before too, and he done came creeping on the come up. You tried it. This is what men do. This is what men do, especially men like Mendices. So I do believe Yandy about that. But Yandy, you could lock your door. I live in California where the rent is high, okay? And I know my East Coast people, my DMV people, they feel me too because they rent is high. But a lot of people out here will break up and have to stay living in the same house just because it's too much. You can lock your bedroom door so that he can't get into the bed with you, Yandy, if you really don't want him. But I don't fully understand what it is Yandy wants. I feel like James is probably right. Yandy may just want to run around Africa and Ghana dealing with whatever rich African man she could find. But I also feel like she cares and is deeply hurt by the breakup by her and Mendices. But I just don't take them seriously as a couple. I feel like it's done. And just because you show like a photo clip of your memories throughout the years doesn't mean it's going to like change someone's mind and make them forget about all the negative that's also come from throughout those years. So I don't know. I felt like Mendices' gesture, while it was thoughtful, I feel like it would have been more received well or better if he made the gesture with the intention and energy of really wanting his family back versus the convenience of what comes with having Yandy back. Like, I don't think he actually wants her. I think he just likes what comes with her. And I know that's a lot, and I'm not saying he's like just with her for the check, but like she embraces his kids that he has with other people. She's helping him to invest in properties. Like, she's done a lot for him. So I could see why he want to stay, but a corn maze in a video, Negro, please. It's just like, you're going to have to do a lot more, sir. But I also kind of feel like Yandy needs to make a decision. Like, do you want this boy or not? Because you also played with him. Yandy cheated, didn't make their marriage official, and he thought that that's what she was going to do. Like, there are things that she did as well that contributed to the demise of their relationship. So I just feel like if they're going to get back together, maybe go to a counselor, figure out if y'all actually want to be married. Stop playing with this, my husband, my wife, this bullshit, because they could just walk away. I agree with this, Shayna. Are you familiar? I feel like it's you, Shayna, who's familiar with RRG, the YouTuber. She does deep dives on a lot of these reality stars. The RRG channel had did a deep dive on Yandy and Mendices a couple times, but every time I watch like a deep dive on them, if you go back to the origin story, I won't say too much on YouTube because I'm not trying to make my disclaimer have to put work in. But if you go back to the origin story of Yandy and Mendices, word on the curb is it's alleged that he got with her just so that he could be on the show and be all right, pretty much. Like, okay, I love me some RRG. The hot stinking mess. I love me some RRG. I be up late watching her in the bed. It drives my husband crazy because no matter how much I turn her down, the intro video be so loud. But I love her, and I'm actually tempted to buy her snacks, but I'm gonna be cool because these YouTubers be charging a lot for snacks. But yeah, everybody check out RRG. Deep dives on a lot of the people that we just see in pop culture, as well as the people we cover on these shows. But how do y'all feel about Yandy and Mendices? Because I agree with Shayna. I've always felt this way. I don't think he ever wanted her. I think he is one of them dudes who was with her for convenience. And it's unfortunate that a lot of men will use women in my opinion, is babysitters, kind of like Scrappy be doing. Like, he's like, oh, I'm dating you. Watch this baby. Like, no. Shayna said, yeah, but Samantha said that on the show. You can always tell that she was always more into him than her. Yeah, you can. You can. Especially when somebody says they're not willing, like if the roles were reversed on that couples therapy, if he would have held her down and he was like, I don't know. He don't want her. A man that wants a woman would have fought. It wouldn't have even got to a point that it got to if he really wanted her. But, you know, people learn in due time. I always say a degree does not make somebody smart. And having money will not help you to keep a man. I mean, being on TV won't help it either. So, I mean, hey, may Yandy figure it out. She's successful, but she better not go back to this man. I'd rather her find a nice African man since her heart seems to be in Africa and be with him. I'd rather her just do that. But y'all, that's it for this review. I appreciate y'all for hanging in there with me. It's always weird to do them alone, but I am trying to get more content individually out there so that my channel can grow and I can grow because I'm actually extremely shy. So I appreciate the support. Her leaving sooner would have been the real flex. She should have left as soon as he said if the roles were reversed, he wouldn't have done it, because the fact that he even felt confident to say that was odd. Ungrateful ninjas, unemployed, with horrible mother-in-laws. My goodness. What is next on my channel? Love and Hip Hop Miami is back tonight. If you guys are on the East Coast, it's either on TV now or coming on TV soon. West Coast people, we got to wait till 8 o'clock. Outside of Love and Hip Hop Miami, the Valley, I will be going over that tomorrow as well. And then on Friday, we have Housewives of Beverly Hills. And on Saturday, we're going to put together something on the Watch Your Best Friends channel. So I guess be on the lookout for that. We'll be figuring it out. Hi, Shani. I had to do the review early because I have homework I have to get to tonight. And then my job ran over late. So I had to start a little bit early. But please feel free to watch the replay, Shani. I will happily be commenting to those leaving comments in the replay if you're watching when we're no longer live. Other than that, y'all, I think that's about it. It's okay, Shani. It's okay, girl. Watch and I will comment with you. I got my phone. It's always with me, my little handy dandy notebook. But yes, thank you to everybody. Happy 3 years to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. See the links in the description of this video. Subscribe to Shayna_MCDTV. Please support her. She supports us. I love it. I hope one day my channel grows so that I can like do for her what she's done for us, y'all. But Shani, I appreciate you. I hope you had a good day. I hope Tariq had a good day. And I'll see y'all next time. I look forward to the comments. Adios. Thank you.